Okay, before we continue with our class, here's the class attendance, and before I sheet out, I would like to know those who are in. Stacy, are you in?
Present.
Purity?
Present.
Juliet?
Present.
And Emmanuel?
Present.
Okay, sign and don't sign for anybody who's not in. Okay, before we start our lesson of today, I would like to do a recap on what we learned on our previous session. On our previous session, we learned about program and programming concepts. So, what is a program? Yes, Stacy?
A program is a set of instructions that tells a computer on how to perform a specific task.
Very good. Can you appreciate Stacy? What is programming?
I can try.
Yes, Manuel?
I can say that's the act of now doing it.
Yes, it's the process of creating programs. I can see you are very attentive and you mastered what you learned in our previous session. Now, our topic of today is all about the developed computer program. And by the end of this session, you should be able to, can we read all of us, part A?
Identify format of a C program.
Part B?
Explain fundamentals of C programming.
Very good. Identify format of a C program and explain fundamentals of a C program. As we all know, program is a set of instructions used to perform a specific task. Now we are going to identify the format of a C program. Now we are going to do a brainstorm on this format of a C program. Now what's the first step in identifying the format of a C program? Yes, Stacy?
Preprocessor directives.
Preprocessor directive. Two. Yes.
Main function.
Main function. C. Yes.
Statements and expression.
Statement and expression. Part B of a format of a C program. Yes,
I can say before the main function.
yeah.
Before the main function, we have the function declaration. Before the main function.
Okay, next.
And after the main function, now we have the variable declaration.
Okay, can we appreciate ourselves by doing a parliament clap? Very good. Now, the first step you said preprocessor directive. Is it correct? Preprocessor directive.
Yes.
Yes, it's preprocessor directive. And preprocessor directive, it includes the hash, include standard. The hash includes standard inputs, outputs. Okay, we are going to main function declaration. What does a main function declaration entails? Yes, class? What does a main function declaration entails? Yes, Chebin?
I can say in the main function.
Yeah.
That's where the actual program now begins. That's where now the first instructions begin.
Yes, this is where a program begins. Can you clap for Emmanuel? Okay, under the main function, what does it? I think it's the same thing. Now we are going to function declaration. What does function declaration entails? Yes, Purity?
Is the starting point where the execution of the program begins.
Yes, it's the execution where the main program begins, and it's main. We have variable declaration. Now, who can explain for us what is a variable? Variable. Yes, Tessie?
I can say a variable. I can
Sorry?
say a variable.
Yes.
Is a named memory location that contains data that can be changed in the course of program execution.
Very good. Is a memory location. You cannot use, let's say, an integer or a data type that you have not declared in the main function. You must first declare the data types before using in the program. Now we are going to the statements. What does statements include? Statements and expressions. Yes, class, statements and expressions. Yes,
I
Tessie?
can only say about the statements.
Yeah.
These are the non-executable lines of executable statements that increase the readability of the program. It enables the user to understand more about the program.
Yes, these are the statements. For example, these are the input, output. For example, we can say printf, hello world. These are statements. Now we have, you didn't say this one, but we have a return. Return 0, and that is where the program ends. And before we forget, there are these braces. These braces are called the opening and closing braces. You must first open, then you close your programs using the. Yes. Now we are going to our second learning outcome, which are explain fundamentals of C programming. Now I'm going to provide you charts. You discuss with your neighbor the fundamentals of C program, and you come to present. Discuss on the fundamentals of C programming. You have 3 minutes Just highlight 3 of them. Are you done? Okay, continue. Please hurry up, time is not on our side. Are you done? Okay.
Yes.
From let that group come and present for us what their findings. Come with your purity, please come over.
Now, group were able to discuss the fundamentals of C programming. We talked about variables and constants, and we say that variables are storage locations identified that can hold data values. We also talk about constants. They are fixed values that cannot change during program execution. We also talked about operators. Operators enable program to perform operations on data, and these operators include like arithmetic, logical, relational, bitwise operators. Also, we talked about control structures. These describe the flow of execution in a program. They are used for decision making. They include stuff like loops. That's what we are able to discuss.
Very good. Can you appreciate Emmanuel's group? Next group.
Good morning, everyone. We are group 2, and this is what we discussed. The fundamentals of C basically means what is important for you to know in C programming. And the first one we got that you have to know the basic syntax. This includes the syntax for maybe declaring variables, constants, and all that. The second one, we got variables and constants. And variables, as we mentioned earlier, this is an in-memory location that can store data that can be manipulated in the course of program executions. While the constants, they cannot be altered. This can be defined using the const keyword or maybe using the hash define. Then we went to the third one, that is the data types. And there are several data types that we have, including the int, that means the integer, and float. Float, these includes the floating point values. Then we have the operators. The operators, we got that we have the arithmetic operators, for example, the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and this one for calculating the modulus. And we also discussed about the relational operators, for example, equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, etc. The next one, we got the logical operators, for example, the and, or, and not. Lastly, we discussed about the control structures, for example, the decision making, that is if, else, and switch statements. And lastly, we discussed about the loops. For example, the for loop, while loop, and the do while loop. Thank you.
Very good. Let's appreciate this group using factorial class. 3 factorial class. Very good. I can see you managed to explain the fundamentals of C programs, and and what you have said is very true. Now, I hope you can now identify the format of a C program, isn't it?
Yes.
You can now explain the fundamentals of a C program. Any question about what you have learned today? Any question? Yes.
I wanted a clarification on the variable declaration.
Okay, variable declaration. Where is my marker pen? As we said earlier, a variable is a space memory allocation. Now, for example, to allocate a variable, we must first know a data type. Now, for example, we say we have a length of 2. Width of 1 centimeter. Now we want to allocate the memory of this in a program. Now, our length is a whole number. Now it will be an integer. So to allocate the memory, it will be int equals to 2. And width is also 1, which means it's also an integer. First we need to int L equals to you must put full colons at the end. Any question or anybody who has not understood on memory allocation of variables? Yes. Point at school or point at home? Okay, now I want you to write 3 things that you have learned, 2 things that you found to be very interesting, and 1 thing that you would like to learn. And before I leave, I would like to leave you with an assignment. And the assignment goes, download at your own free time, go and download a C compiler called VS Code. In our next session will be a practical session, and we are going to code several programs. Can I have my attendance sheet? Okay, thank you very much. Let's meet in our next session.